Good evening, StreamYard and YouTube fans, and this is Philip Reynolds, and welcome to Quantum What If Sports. I know it's been a long time. It's been like, I had to check, it's been 12 days since my last game, but unfortunately, it takes about an hour to do one of these games, and I just haven't had the time. I'll be honest, I just haven't had the time, but tonight I should be able to get this in. We have the Reds versus the White Sox. I had to see which team was batting first. And so far, the Reds have not been doing very well. I don't know if it's because of the reading the dice differently or not. The White Sox almost got a perfect game in game one. The Reds got 2 hits, and that was it. Um, both teams are fielding one in this. Um, and for the Reds, we have Rath, Dalbert, Grau, Roush, Duncan, Koff, Neal, and catching tonight as Wingo. For the White Sox, they have Leopold, Collins, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Flesh, Gandill, Riesberg, Chalk. On the mound for the Reds, you have Ring, and I know that I didn't realize that he was uh, pitching game 4. Otherwise, I would not have had him as a relief pitcher in game 3. And Seacott is pitching for the White Sox. And like I said, for the White Sox, we read the red die first. For the Reds, we're reading the white die first. The White Sox are trying to change history. The Reds are trying to preserve history. As a result, the White Sox dice are red in red first, whereas the Reds, because the White Sox are trying to change history, the white die is red first. With that being said, we will go down to our field, and I am rolling 3 dice. So basically, we're rolling for Rath, Dalbert, and Grau first thing. May have to do some changes, but we'll see. It may affect. I mean, it may be that you have to read one or more dice to get one. We'll see what happens here. All right, let's go down to the field of play. All right. And let's take a look. All right. For Wrath, that is a 15, and that will be an 11. And Seacott is an A pitcher. It says single to left, but then you have to switch to see if it's a positive thing. So Seacott, 11. It's still a single to left. Batter steals second. Okay. The Wrath will be on second. Dalbert gets a 24, and that is a 32 with the man at second. Fly out to right field. Yeah, that's going to be a fly out to right field. Grow is 32, and that will be a 26. Out at first, that will be 4-3. But Wrath will go to third. And Roush comes up to the plate. So our runner is at third now. .53 for Roush will be a 17. Oh, that's going to be an error on the first baseman. That's an E on the right fielder. Roush will get, that's going to be an E7, and Wrath will score on that one, which will bring up Duncan. 15 on Duncan with the man at first. Excuse me a second, guys. I got a phone call. Sorry about that, guys. That was my sister. I called her yesterday, and she wasn't at home. She's called me back. Duncan is 54, which is a 32 with a man on first, and that will be the end of the inning. That's a fly out to right. And the Reds get one hit. That is an unearned run, and the Reds lead 1-0. And Leopold will come up for the White Sox here. For the White Sox, we got Leopold, Collins, Weaver to start, and Jackson, Flesh, Gando, Riesberg, and Chalk come after them. All right, let's see what Leopold does. Okay. I'm going to have to re-roll those. And I was missing a dice anyway. I knew something was up, but I didn't see all of the dice. Okay, 25 for Leopold. That will be a 10 with nobody on. And Ring is a B pitcher. And that will be Leopold will get a single. Brings up Collins. And that's going to be 16 for Collins, which will be 28. This will be a fielder's choice. It's going to be 6-4. So we have a runner at first in Collins. And Weaver comes up. And that will be a 36 for Weaver. And that will be 14, which is a walk. So that will put men at first and second. And Shoeless Joe will come up and try to drive somebody in. Oh, Shoeless Joe gets a 1-1. That will take us to the second column, and that's a 46 read, and that will be a 6. And Ring is a B pitcher. It says double to left center, runner scores. And we're looking at Collins here. Collins is not slow. He is fast. Yeah, it says double to left field. So we will have men at second and third here. Collins will score. Weaver will be at third. Jackson gets a double, and that will bring up Flesh. And Flesh gets a 1-1. That will take us to the second column. We'll have to roll. 44 on the second column will be a 9, and that's with men at second and third. And Flush, that's going to be a fly out to right field. And Oh, that's definitely going to be the second strike. Let's see. No, that's not the second out. So that's not with 2 outs. Otherwise, it would be a strikeout. So that's going to be fly out to right. Weaver will come in. Be 2 outs. And Gandil will come up to the plate. And that's a 61 for Gandil with a man at second. And that's going to be a 24. That's going to be a fly out to the shortstop. And that will be the end of the inning, but not before that's going to be the end of the first, but not before the White Sox can put 2 on the board. It will be 2-1 in favor of the Sox. Koff will come up for the Reds in the top of the second here. You'll have Koff, Neal, and Wingo. We're at the top of the second. $64 for Koff. That will be 30. And that's going to be a fly out to left. Neal will be 42. And that's going to be a strikeout. That will be the first strikeout of the game. And I have to switch cards here because Wingo is the catcher in this game. Okay. And 42 for Wingo is a 38 with the bases empty. That will be a ball, which makes it 43 we're looking at. 29, that's going to be pitcher to the first baseman. So that will be 1-3 and no hits that inning for the Reds. God. And Reisberg comes up to bat for the White Sox. Okay. Reisberg comes up. That's a 16, and that's going to be a 28. And that will be a 4-3 put out. Okay. Chalk comes up. That's going to be a 14. And that will be fly out to left. And this will bring Leopold back up. And 16 for Leopold will be a 28. And that will be a shortstop to first baseman. That will be a 6-3 put out. 3 up and 3 down for the White Sox that inning. And 1, 2. And the White Sox had 2 hits in the first inning. Okay. Right. We will have the top of the order for the Reds in the third here. That means we have Rath, Dalbert, and Grau. Yep. 14 will be a 30. Let's fly out to left. Dalbert is a 52. That will be a 27. That will be third to first. That will be a 5-3 put out. And that puts up Grau. And 5-4 for Grau. Be a 32. And that's a fly out to right. 3 up and 3 down. Okay, Collins is up for the. That's Grau. Collins is up for the White Sox here in the bottom of the third. 33, that will be a 7. Ring is a beat pitcher. That will be a single. Weaver, 32 for Weaver. And that will be a 26. Man at first. This is going to be safe at first. This is going to be fielder's choice. This will be 4-6. Collins will be out, 4-6. Weaver's safe at first on a fielder's choice. And this will bring up Jackson, and 66. We're going to go to his second column, and we'll have to re-roll here. And that will take us to 34, which will be an 11. It says single over first, runner to third. Batter steals second on third pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike on batter. So we have Weaver at third, Jackson at second, and Flesh is up with 2 balls, 1 strike. And this is a 5-3 on Flesh, 15 with a runner at second and third. Single to left, 1 runner scores, other to third. Batter out trying for second. So Weaver will score. Jackson goes to third. And Flesh is out, going to second. Okay. Okay. And that will bring up Gandil. And this is 22 on Gandil, and that will be a 7 with runners at second. (22) 7. This will be a single. Gandil gets a single. Jackson will score, which will bring up Reesberg. And we have a runner at first. 53 with a runner at first. That's going to be 20 out at first. It says runner to second, but out at first. So this is going to be 4-3 put out, and that will end the inning. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits for the White Sox on 2 runs. And that makes it 4-1 in favor of the White Sox. Okay. Roush is up. Roush is up for the Reds. (32). That will be 26. That will be a 4-3 put out. Duncan is up. 42 for Duncan will be a strikeout. The 33 for Koff will be a 7, and that will be a single for Koff. Neal will come up. We'll have to re-roll for Neal. 55 for Neal will be a 9 with a runner at first. And you can see Cott, that's a single. Let's check it says out at first. And that will be a 5-3 put out, and that will end the inning. And that is just 1 hit for the Reds. And Chalk is up for the White Sox. 62, and that will be a 38. That will be a ball. 44, 8, and Ring is a B pitcher. That will be a fly out to center field. That brings up Leopold. Oh, it's going to bring up Leopold. Leopold comes up, and he is looking at a 61, 24, and that that will be a 6-3 put out. Which will bring up Collins. And that's a re-roll. 25 for Collins will be a 10. And that will be a single for Collins. Weaver comes up. 52 for Weaver with a man at first. And that's going to be 27. That's going to be, it says it's going to be double play, but there's already 2 outs. So that's going to be 5-4. And that's basically they're going to get him out at and for Weaver that would basically be a fielder's choice that he was caught in, and Jackson will be first up in the bottom of the 5th. Wingo is up for the Reds in the top of the 5th here. .31 will be a 9. And that's going to be out at first. That's going to be a 6-3. And that will bring up Rath, the top of the order. 61 for Rath will be a 24. And that will be a 6-3 put out. Another 6-3 put out. And 4-4 for Dalbert will be a 7. That will be a single for Dalbert. And Grow comes up and we will re-roll. 46 will be a 27. And that's going to be, that's basically going to be a, let's see. Grow 627. It says double play, but that's going to be basically it's going to be 5-4 at second, and kind of a fielder's choice for Grau, which means Roush will be up first in the top of the 6th. Jackson is up for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 5th. 62 will be 40. And that's going to be a foul. So 35 will be a 9. And that will be a single for Jackson. .32 for Flesh with a man at first. Batter safe at field. Out at second. This is going to be fielder's choice. And that's going to be a 4-6 So that's going to be 1 out. Flush will be at first. Okay. And I think we're with Gandil, and that's 32, which will be 26. And batter safe at first. That's going to be a 5-3, but he's safe. Gandil's going to be safe at first on a fielder's choice, which will bring up Reesberg. And I think we have to re-roll. And with a man at first, we got 65, which will be 35. Foul out to the catcher. And one hit that time for the White Sox. And that will take us to the going to take us to the 6th inning, and it's still 4-1, and Roush is up for the Reds. .55, and that's going to be an 8 with the bases empty, and that's going to be a fly out to third. Brings up Duncan. 62 for Duncan will be 32. That's a fly out to right. .65 for Koff. And 65 is a 35. And that's a ground out to first base. And that's 3 up, 3 down for the Reds. And this brings up Shock for the White Sox in the bottom of the 6th. 54 will be a 32. It's a fly out to right. Okay, we've come to Leopold. And he is a 35. That's going to be a 9. And that will be a single. Collins gets a 1-1. That's going to take us to the 2nd column. We're going to have to roll and see what's on the 2nd column for Collins. 64 with a man at first. And that will be a 6 double over first, runner to third. fast scores. Leopold is fast, so he will score. And so he does score, and Collins gets a double. Okay. And then Weaver comes up, and we will go to the second column for Weaver. That's a 22, and that is a 2. And that will Weaver will get a triple here. And I think with that, the Reds are going to go to their bullpen. Right now, the score is, with those 2 runs, the score is now 6-1. The Reds will go to their bullpen. And let us see who they are going to. They're going to bring in Luque because he's a C pitcher. It's Luque, Luque. And brings up Jackson. Jackson, we have to roll for Jackson. We got a man at third. Runner on third. 43 for Jackson will be a 29. Out at first, runner holds. So that's going to be first. That's going to be a 1-3 put out. First put out of the inning. This will be 16 for Flush, and that is a 28. Safe at first, runner out at home. And Luque is a C pitcher. So he's safe at first. Runner is out at home. And that will be a 6-2 put out. And Flush will be that's going to be a single. Gandil is up. And this puts it at 52. And we have a runner at first. This would be 27. And that says double play. And I can already tell you there are already 2 outs. So this is going to be a 5-4 put out. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits this inning, 2 runs, makes it 6-1. And the Reds come up in the top of the 7th, and Neal is up for the Reds. Let's go back down and take a look. Right. let's see here. 32 for Neil. And that's going to be a 26. That's going to be a 4-3 put out. Wingo. That's going to be a 6-3. That's going to be 31. That's going to be a fly out to center field. And 22 for Wrath. That's going to be an 8 for Wrath. And Seacott is an A pitcher. That will be a fly out to third. And Riesberg comes up to the plate for the White Sox in the bottom of the 7th. .41. That will be a 12. It's going to be a 5-3 put out. It's going to bring up Shock there. And that's going to be a 65. It's going to be a 35. That's a ground out to the first baseman. Which brings up Leopold. And that is 32 for Leopold, which will be 26. And that's going to be a 4-3 put out. Three up, three down. And the Reds will come up with Dalbert. .42. It's going to be 37. That's going to be a strike. 53 for Dalbert. Will be a 20. That's going to be an E4 basically. So Dalbert will get on an E4. Groh is up. 32 for Groh with a man at first, and that's 26. Batter safe at first. That's going to be fielder. That's going to be a 4-6. And he's safe at first on a fielder's choice. Going to bring out Roush. 32 for Roush will be 26 with a man at first. That's going to be also going to be a fielder's choice. That will be 4-6. And Duncan will come up. We will re-roll. 63 with the runner at first will be 30. That's going to be a fly out to left, and that will be the end of the inning. And no hits that inning. Collins is due up for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 8th. And 66, we'll look at the second column, which is a 23, and that will be a 6. On a grade B pitcher, that will be a double for, that's going to be a double for Collins. Can bring up Weaver. Takes those. 32 for Weaver will be a 26. Out at first, that's going to be a 4-3 out. But Collins will go to third. And that will bring up Jackson. Oh, reroll that. $63 for Jackson with the man at second. It's going to be 31. That's a fly out to center field. The runner's going to hold. Oh. Okay. Flush is up. 12 on flush with 25. Says double play, but they only need one, so that's going to be short to second. Okay. And one hit that inning. No runs. The Reds come up for their last at bat. Koff is up. 15 will be in 11. Is at an 11. It says single, but let's go to the C. It says single to left. Batter steals second. So single. And Koff steals second. Neal is up. 62 for Neal. Which will be 29 out at first. That's going to be a 1. Okay, runner's going to go to second. 3. Runner's at second. Wingo is up. Runner at second. And he gets a 46. And 30. It's a fly out to left. And Rath will come up, be the last batter here. And we'll have to re-roll for Rath. $13 for Rath. That's going to be a walk. Rath will walk. So you have runners at first and second. $52 for Dalbert. It's going to be a 20. That's going to be an E4. So the bases will be loaded. Grow comes up. And he gets a 34 and a 31 with the bases loaded. That's going to be a fly out to center field. And that will end the game. The Reds got 2 hits on that one in that inning. And what can I say? The Reds are getting the they're getting hits and they're getting runs, but they only got 1 run this game. 1 error, 2. Looks like the White Sox got 3 errors, and the Reds got Reds didn't get any errors. Reds got 1, 2, 3. Reds got 5 hits, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, and the White Sox got 12 hits, 6 runs. The Reds had 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, and the White Sox had 6 runs, 12 hits, and 3 errors. And this makes the Sox 4-0. And I believe, let me check out Game 5 here. I'm going to make sure. I think Game 5 was in Cincinnati, so we'll take a look. No, the game 5 was in Chicago, so we will be in Chicago for Game 5, and Lefty Williams is pitching for the White Sox, and Hod Eller is pitching for the Reds. And it's pretty much the same lineup as we have been. The only change in the next game is Raritan will be batting instead of Wingo. So and that will be it for tonight. The Reds, once again, I mean, they're getting hits, and they had some run, they got some hits in that, but they could just not get men across the plate. They were getting hits here and there, but they were just not getting men across the plate. And so the White Sox go up 4-0. They need one more game to sweep the Reds. So, yeah, big shocker. The Reds won this originally in 8 games, and right now the Reds are just one game away from a sweep. So not only are the White Sox winning, but they are thrashing the Reds. So yeah, you all take care and have a good one and enjoy your evening.